Hey Kel Kats, welcome back to another episode of Intalkxicated. I am your host, Kelsi Davies, and I am here, of course, with my roommate slash best friend, Maddie Kelly.
Hi.
She's just in every episode.
I'm always here.
I'll have guests like one day, but like...
It's COVID.
We're going to stick with Maddie for now. Just kidding. She'll probably like be in every podcast pretty much. She's basically a co-host. But last time on the podcast, we talked about the Illuminati. The time before that, we talked about like psychedelics, basically. Crazy. So if you guys want to check those out, make sure you guys go do that. If you guys want to check us out on YouTube, this is being filmed live right now. So my YouTube is KelsiDavies. That is Kelsi Davies. And then we got Maddie Kelly in the house. She also has a podcast called Maddie Unfiltered.
Yes.
So you should check that out. I just basically talked about being pansexual and stuff on there. So you might want to go check that out. It is MADYKELLY. Make sure you guys go check it out. Maddie Kelly. I am also here with Lola, my haunted doll, and she is the star of the podcast tonight. So I've mentioned briefly that I do have a haunted doll. She's like chilling right next to the microphone right now. Yeah. So if you guys hear any whispers, might be her. We're just going to get into Lola straight up. Oh, I forgot to ask you, Maddie, the most important question of the podcast. What is your intoxication for the night?
Drinking Trulies.
Like usual.
Yeah, it's me with the Trulies and Kelsi with the weed.
Yep, I just packed a bowl, so no edible for me tonight, though.
Good.
Yeah.
She's a little more, like, sane.
Not
like sane, but, like, not as, like, forgetting things.
Right. Still forgetting things, but, like, we're
not
good.
as bad.
Not as bad. But anyways, let's get right into this podcast. So we're going to talk about Lola, the haunted doll.
The star of the show.
She is the star. She's also a star on TikTok.
Oh, yeah.
KelsiDavies, by the way. I'm just going to start from the beginning. Like, I don't even know where to start with her.
Start.
I think I'm going to start from the beginning, kind of share our experiences with her and, like, I don't know, what I've learned about her.
Yeah.
So, basically, just going to start from the beginning. One day I was driving and I decided, like, so I was thinking of, like, good content for YouTube and TikTok, what people would like and stuff, and then, like, what I would like, you know, like, what I would enjoy. And I was like, you know, I've never owned a haunted item before.
Yeah.
And, like, I remembered that, like, Omar had a haunted doll a long time ago, but his was, like, evil. Like, his scratched him and shit. Yeah, that shit was gnarly.
Thanks.
That's Omar Gosh TV. I don't know if you guys have seen him on YouTube, but he goes to the craziest places. And, yeah, he had this evil doll. But anyways, I decided, I was like, what if I got, like, a doll that was friendly, like a friendly ghost? I was like, that's kind of, like, cool. Like, I don't know. I just thought of it when I was driving in the car or, like, whatever. Like, thinking about ghosts.
She's
just how my mind works.
Comes up with an idea and she rolls with it.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, that's cool. Like, chill. So I went on eBay and I found this woman. She actually had a bunch of haunted dolls for sale. Her eBay username was Fire Torch Findings, and she was selling Lola. And right away, I don't know why, like something, like I saw Lola's pictures. So like I have this thing where I can feel energy through photos and like, it's weird. I shared this with Maddie. I've never shared this with anyone, but like when I was little, I used to like going through picture books because I would feel the energy like from each photo and I like loved it. And like when people show me photos, I'm like really interested because of it. I don't know. It's weird.
I think it's cool.
I think it's cool too.
It's
but
like really different, but it's like super cool.
It's just like something I don't really like tell people because like people are like, okay. Like, all right there. But I saw Lola's picture and I don't know, like I just felt this energy about her and like I just felt this connection instantly. Literally looked at her picture. It said Lola, like active, haunted doll, good spirit. And I literally just clicked buy. I didn't even read her story or anything before I got her.
It's weird how your intuition just knew.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
Like, it was weird. I didn't read one thing. So I tell Mackie, because I was just starting to talk to Mackie. I had not even met her in person yet.
That's so weird.
And I told her, I was like, I just bought a haunted doll. And she was like, oh, what's the story behind it? And then I realized, I was like, I don't know.
She just bought it.
And I told Maddie too, and you were like, oh God. Like, she was like,
yeah,
scared.
I didn't want to come over because I was like, oh my God, another thing. Like, I don't like haunted shit.
Yeah.
Like, I've been very, like, against it. Not, like, against it. I just, like...
She just doesn't, you know. want to go.
We used to
all
make
the time.
videos together, and like Kelsi really liked haunted videos, and I would go with her. But we had so many like bad experiences at the beginning that I didn't like it. So I was like, oh my god, a haunted doll. Like I don't want to be around that because I don't want it to like attach to me.
Right. Like she got.
I had no idea it was gonna be the way it is.
Right.
But,
right.
Yeah.
Lola's just like looking at you.
She's like,
excuse me.
Excuse me.
I decided to like get her story because I was like, that's kind of important. All it said, it was very brief. It just said that Lola's spirit was born in like 1901 and she passed away when she was 18 years old. So in 1919, it said that she died just an illness. It just said a sickness. She was one of 7 siblings. So she had like, you know, like a big family.
Yeah.
I think that was pretty much all it said. There was not a lot about her, you know? So I kind of dug into like, I guess the sickness. I was like, well, what sickness is in 1919? And it was like the Spanish flu. I was like, okay, she must have passed away from the Spanish flu, whatever. So that's kind of what I went based off of. But I did not even imagine how much I would know about her now. Like now I'm like, I didn't know anything about her then. So the day I got her, like in the box, right? That's like when my TikTok just fell in love with Lola. Like, I don't know if people on TikTok can feel her energy or like what it is, but like people love her.
Yeah,
she's
she's
like a friendly ghost.
She's like a part of your TikTok now.
Right. If she's not in one of my TikToks, they get upset.
They ask me where Lola is. Like, that's what it's come to. Like, they're like, can you say hi to Kelsi and Lola for me? Like, do you like Lola? They like love her.
Aw,
I love her.
I love her too. Like, I love that. But that night, like, that I got her in the box, she was not happy. She was, like, so upset. And, like, I was really scared because, like, I didn't know anything about her. Yeah. And I thought, I was like, oh, God, what if, like, she's actually not a good doll?
Yeah.
Or a good
like
spirit, I mean.
Bad attached.
A good doll.
Yeah.
Good doll. A good spirit, you know? So I took her to this pet cemetery. I actually filmed this with Mackie. I think that was the first time Mackie and I ever hung out. And I had like a haunted doll with me. Yeah.
That's funny.
It was like our first YouTube video together. Mackie Albertson, if you guys don't know who I'm talking about. She's in a lot of my YouTube videos. But I brought her to this pet cemetery that was haunted by like old mafia members or like gangsters or something like that, something weird. It was like bad energy and stuff. Lola was already upset with me like that. I took her out of the box, took her to the cemetery, like she was not happy. So I used the pendulum that she came with. So if you guys want to see the pendulum, just head over to my YouTube channel, but right now I'm showing the pendulum that she came with. She spins it clockwise for yes. Oh, she's doing it. Good girl. And then she goes counterclockwise for no.
All right, Lola.
Yeah.
Go off, sis.
But like a lot of people think I move my hand because like you like don't stay still, you know, with this thing. Like you're gonna sit here like this.
Yeah,
but that's why I use the dowsing rods.
Okay.
That's why I don't use this anymore, just because people like, you know, people think I fake it or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like, how would I? Like, whatever. Yeah. But anyways. So she would do that, and like I asked her straight up in the video, I was like, do you like me? And she's like, no. Like she did not like me.
I didn't know any of this.
Yeah, so she like did not like me. In that night, half of my footage got deleted too.
That sounds like
That's
Lola.
how I found out that Lola does not like being filmed without people's permission. Like 100%.
Is that why you started asking after that?
Yeah.
Or like, okay.
Yeah, so I found that out because like my footage got deleted, and I was like, well, like she's mad at me, and like her footage got deleted. Maybe I have to ask for permission. Once I started respecting her, like by asking her permission and just like, you know, like I gave her a place to put the doll in my room and stuff. Like once I started respecting her more, she like grew to like me, and like now she's like pretty much lives life through me, I like to think. Like I knew a few things about her. We used a Ouija board to find out some more things. One of the answers, we were a little off. So sometimes spirits are a little off because it's really hard to communicate.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
We thought her birthday was October, like we figured out her birthday. We thought it was October 20th, which is Mackie's birthday, but it's actually the 21st. So I was celebrating it on the 20th, but it was one day after, so like it was one day off.
Is that Libra or Scorpio?
Libra. So she's a Libra.
Twins.
Yes. That's why I get along with her.
That's why I like her.
Yeah. She's a little sass. She's a total Libra.
Sassy, like
she's
me.
Sassy. So just throughout our relationship with Lola, I've just learned a lot of things. And what really like got me to learn a lot is like I met this girl, Amanda. And I don't know if you guys have seen my TikToks of this girl, but she can literally see spirits. I'm going to do another video with her soon. She can legit see them. Like her whole life, she's been able to just see spirits. If you guys want to check that, that's on my YouTube channel, actually. We went to the Hotel del Coronado. So if you guys just type in Hotel del Coronado Kelsi Davies, like, I think the title is like She Can See Ghosts.
That's
so it's literally like
me.
crazy. So this was weird. Like, this is what got me like believing it, you know, like, because some people you're like whatever, but she's like legit, guys. Like, I swear, like, all the footage, that whole video, you'll be like, oh my god, she's legit. Basically, she looked at me and she's like, there's an older gentleman with you. And Maddie and I, like, we
Mackie.
no, you.
Me?
Yeah, we had done a Ouija board in the past.
Oh, I was like,
You, Maddie.
I was like, I wasn't there for the hotel.
No, not the hotel.
Oh.
So we were doing a Ouija board in the past, and we were connecting with our spirit guides.
Yeah.
And we found out it was my great-grandpa in the past.
Mm-hmm.
I never knew his name or anything, but I, like, knew it was my great-grandpa.
Mm-hmm.
She has no idea anything about this, right? She sits there, looks at me, and she's like, there's that older gentleman with you. I was like, really? She's like, yeah. And I was like, is it my spirit guide? She's like, I think so. And she's like, Lenny? Like, Lenny. He's saying his name, Lenny. And I was like, Lenny? Like, I don't know who that is, you know? So I asked my mom, and, like, she's like, your great-grandpa, like, that you never met him, and my mom never met him. He died very young. And his name was Lenny. So she literally knew his name and everything.
Weird.
Right. And I was like, what the hell? Like, she can literally... Like, she's legit.
Yeah, because you didn't even know his name.
I didn't know his fucking name. Like,
so, like,
it was like legit shit.
So crazy.
And then we did this thing with the dowsing rods where I'd close my eyes, and the two dowsing rods, if you guys don't know what dowsing rods are, they're like copper rod. They were used back in the day to find water and stuff, but like a lot of witches started using them like to talk to spirits and stuff. Mm-hmm. So you hold them, and you hold them still, and they'll move if you ask like the spirits to move them. And we were asking, I had my eyes closed in this. This is on video. I had my eyes closed, and I was like, Amanda, the medium, was behind me. Okay, so I couldn't see her. Oh,
it was a cat.
Yeah, it was a
my
cat.
Heart
That wasn't a ghost.
My heart dropped.
But she was sitting behind me, so she would be like, "Can you point to the woman in the room, like the woman in the black dress, you know, like the spirit or whatever?" And I would close my eyes. She would be behind me, pointing to it. And the dowsing rods would go and point exactly to where she was pointing.
What?
Yeah. On video. So...
Oh.
That's crazy. So getting back into Lola, she saw Lola with me. Spirits tend to choose what age they present themselves to you as. Like, I'm more comfortable with, like, children. If I were to see a spirit, they would probably present themselves as, like, an 8-year-old or something. Lola presented herself as around 8 years old when she was 8. And I asked Amanda, I was like, what does she look like? And she was like, well, she presents herself around 8 years old, and she has brown hair, and she's wearing, like, this nightgown type dress, but I see her in black and white. So she's like, her eyes look like grayish, but like she doesn't know what color her eyes are because she just saw Lola in black and white.
That's so, I didn't know.
Which is so weird. Like, they can see them like that, like no color, which is crazy to me.
Really crazy.
So she saw her like that, and I was like, she could literally see Lola. Like, we would be walking on the sidewalk. I'd be like, is Lola here with me? Like, when her doll was in the car. Oops. This is how I know that she follows me, like, attaches to me. She's like, yeah, she's next to you. Oh, she's walked into that store. Oh, she's back. Like, literally, they, like, just, like, chill with you.
That's crazy.
Amanda, she told me also that Lola has a male attached to her. So Lola's spirit is attached to the doll, right? Spirits tend to attach to inanimate objects, like dolls and stuff. I'll tell you why she attached to this doll in a little bit. But they tend to attach themselves to things to feel more, you know, attached to Earth and more like alive, like, right? Because they're not ready to move on. Lola does not know what else is out there. She's like, she's kind of just like not ready yet. She's not like stuck or anything. She's just not ready.
She chose to be here.
Yeah, she wants to be here because she died so young. You know,
and we're kind of happy about it.
Yeah, no, we're very happy
because then we get to experience it.
Yeah, but Amanda told me that Lola's attached to the doll. There is a man with her named Benny. So Amanda thinks that Benny and Lola knew each other like when they were alive, and Lola died young, but Benny grew up and grew older and then still came back to her in the afterlife, which is like really cute.
So cute.
That's what Amanda thinks happened. So I was like, that's really cool. And like when Amanda described Lola, I forgot to mention, this is really important. She described Lola as having a really tiny nose. So like remember that, okay? That's a very distinct detail.
Yeah.
She has a very tiny nose. It's like a tiny nose. was like, okay, that's kind of weird. Like, that's a weird detail. Later on, I meet this girl online. She lives in Australia. Her name is Paris. She was like claiming, she's like, yeah, I'm like clairvoyant. Like, I can talk to spirits. I'm like a medium. Like, she can see, hear, and talk to spirit, you know, like all that. She DM'd me all this stuff about, I think it was about Benny. And I was like, that's kind of like crazy what she like told me. I think like around then is when I had this dream. So I had a dream about like there was this young girl and she had like really curly, kind of like, not like curly, like, you know how like some little girls, like Italian, like it's kind of wavy but kind of like messy at the same time, like curly hair. So she had like this curly hair and it was brown, and I was like, all right, like who is this little girl, you know? She was holding hands with this little toddler and it had red hair, and like it was distinct, you know, like a little red-haired kid, like it was like 2 years old, and I couldn't tell if it was a boy or a girl because like it was really little. And in my dream, like I do this with my cats, I picked them both up and put them on my shoulders and walked away with them. And I don't know why I did that, but I do it with Luna and Tito. So I'm like, maybe I like confused the two in my dream or something and like picked them up. But I was like, who is that? Like, that's weird. I went back and asked Amanda, the girl from the Hotel del Coronado, and I asked her, I was like, what is Lola's hair like? Because all she said is she has brown hair. I was like, what is Lola's hair like? Is it curly? Like what? She's like, yeah, it's like super curly, and like she explained it exactly how I saw in the dream.
That's so weird.
And I was like dumbfounded. And then I did a spirit box session. I asked, I was like, Benny, like what color is your hair? And he said red. And I was like, red? Like for real? So Paris, the one who claims to be like clairvoyant and stuff, I think I told her about this dream. I didn't tell her like what color the toddler's hair and stuff was, you know, like.
Yeah.
And I asked her a little bit about Benny. I was like, can you contact Benny a little bit and like ask him like what color his hair is? She used a weird word like auburn or something.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like a weird word. And I was like, bro, that's
like
weird.
2 people besides you confirmed it.
Yeah. Okay. This is what got me with Paris. So she DMs me and she goes, hey girl, I'm a clairvoyant. I was watching your live earlier for 5 minutes as it came up on my For You page on TikTok. Your friend Lola presented herself to me, but I heard you say that she presents herself as around like 9 years old. Well, in that specific live, like I was on a live stream on TikTok and she saw Lola standing on my right side almost in a rigid stance as if she was fiddling with her hands. I feel as if she was standing in a protective manner over you but was overwhelmed at the same time. And I kept saying, I was like, I think like Lola's overwhelmed like with all these people here and stuff. I mean, she could have like said that from the live, but like I don't know, I was like, that's kind of interesting. But she was like, she was also wearing period clothing, almost like a white bed dress with long sleeves, and like Amanda had said she had a nightgown on.
Yeah.
You know, and like back in the day,
so
that's a nightgown.
adding up. Yeah,
and she's like, she has fluffy, loose, curled hair, which is dark brown. She has a very small nose. This is a different person. A very small nose. I've never said that on no social media. And deep gray eyes. I rarely see spirits in color. She has thick, dark eyebrows, and if I had to place an age, I'd say she presented herself to me as around age 19.
I have the chills right now.
But she was 18, so she was like 1 year off.
She presented herself,
as like she, you know, she didn't know what age. Benny didn't come through to me as strong, merely a lingering energy attached to Lola, though he presented around the same age with porcelain skin, freckles, and dark auburn hair. He is just slightly taller than Lola, as she is on the taller side, and his hair is quite wavy as well.
I remember you sending me the screenshots of this, and I was literally sitting there with my jaw open. Like, I didn't even know, like, because you had told me all this stuff about Amanda. And then I was sitting there like, oh.
No, when she said the small nose, I was like, that's weird. Like, that is 2 separate people.
That are on different continents. Like, literally. Yeah. They don't even know each other.
They don't even live in the same...
That's amazing.
So, and she, like, I asked her all these things. Like, I asked her, I was like, why won't she show herself to me? Because I always wondered, like, why doesn't Lola show me herself? Like, I want to see, like... I want to see her spirit and everything. She was like, I asked her why she won't show you herself to you, and I instantly felt faint and my eyes started to flicker. She told me that for her to reveal herself to you, she would almost instantly have to use all of your energy to appear, and that would just cause you how I felt just now. I also felt a large tightening in my chest. Do you happen to have anxiety or anything? I get the worst panic attacks, and that's exactly how I feel when I have a panic attack. So she thinks I'll have a panic attack if I see Lola.
But you did,
which
see
is like
her.
so true. But when I saw her, I gotta explain that to y'all.
That's like this
that shit
part
was
is insane.
Okay, Lola, the doll, she attached to this doll because it looks like her.
Yeah, I was gonna say, when you're describing it, it's exactly what the doll looks like.
She looks like the doll, I swear. And I can confirm that because I saw her. So
that's insane.
Yeah, I saw her sitting on my bed. I was on the phone with my boyfriend, and I had just had an edible, like, probably an hour ago, I guess. And it was kicked in already, you know, whatever. And I don't, like, hallucinate on edibles. Like, you don't.
You're just more relaxed. Maybe that's why.
Right. It was so weird. I, like, briefly, like, when I turned my head and back, like, I went to look at something and go back, I literally saw Lola sitting on my bed, Lola's spirit. And, like, it was so distinct what I saw. Like, I can explain it to the T. She was literally, like, she had no shoes on, which I thought was kind of weird. I was like, why doesn't she have shoes? She had her legs crossed at the bottom, like, not her knees crossed over. It was kind of like a girly type cross. She was kind of sitting, like, with her ankles crossed. She was sitting there, like, fiddling with her hands, just like Paris said she was doing in my live. But, like, I saw her. Like, she was fiddling with her hands like this.
Like an anxiety tip.
Kind of just, like, sitting here, like, bored. And then her hair was, like, curly, but it was, like, balled up right here. I think it was longer, but I couldn't see it because it was, like, balled up. But it was, like, so weird. And she had, like, this white nightgown on, and it went down, like, to kind of by her ankles. But it was up a little bit just because she was sitting down.
Yeah.
Legit just saw her. I didn't see her face. Okay?
That's crazy.
But I saw her, like, fiddling with her fingers. Like, I could see it right now.
Yeah.
Weird. So I know she's there.
She's like, okay, this is something that like
the facial thing. You gotta explain that.
So Kelsi had told me that like Lola like changes like the doll that she attaches to like changes the expressions, and I never really understood. I guess you said like Mackie had noticed it, and I never really noticed it until one night when we were smoking, we were high.
Yeah.
And I walked in and I said something, and like Lola was like, it was like she was smiling. I can't even explain it.
The doll.
The doll. Like right now, she looks like she's like happy, like relaxed. And like sometimes you can tell when she's mad. You can tell when she's like uncomfortable. You can tell when she's like laughing.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's so weird.
I don't know if it's the energy that you feel with her or if it's the face.
It's because the face.
Mackie has said that too.
It's so weird.
Mackie has said that. Maddie has said that. And I have said that forever.
Yes.
But no one believed me. I was like, guys, her face changes.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Kelsi used to tell me and I never believed her. And then it started happening and I was like, oh.
Her facials change.
Yes.
I swear to God.
You can tell when she's annoyed. Like, it's
No,
like
you can.
so weird.
You can.
And I also think that it's like, I always forget, like, this is like so bad, but like, you talk to the doll, but her spirit isn't the doll.
Right.
Like, it's hard to like distinguish the two. Like, it's like
is.
Lola's here, but she's not, it's not the
See,
doll.
in her mind with Lola, I've asked like the mediums.
Yeah.
This. She said that like if I include the doll and all that, like it's her. Like she is
her
like,
energy.
That's how
her.
she like she'll sit there and watch it, but she'll be like, oh, like they love me.
Yeah.
You know, like it's her.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how she like does that, but it's freaking like she's like smiling.
Yeah,
right now.
like she's like happy. That's what I'm saying.
It's weird. It's weird.
Hard to explain unless you you've seen it.
No, yeah. So going into the crazy shit I learned about Lola, guys. Okay, that's not even the craziest shit. So with Amanda, my other friend who's a medium, she sees spirits everywhere, right? But Paris can like talk to them whenever, wherever. You know, like Amanda's had really bad experiences with like demons and stuff, so she doesn't like calling out spirits and stuff. You know, which like I wouldn't either.
Sense. I wouldn't do that either.
But Paris, she's like, she sits there and she like talks to them. Like you can ask her anything and she'll like ask them.
I used to ask her questions because my house was haunted for a while. She even told me how to like get rid of them.
Right, and it worked.
Yeah.
It worked. So I was asking, it was so crazy. I was asking Paris, I was like, I don't know Lola's last name. Like, can you ask her for me? And like I didn't expect her to have an answer, you know, like and she was like, oh, she's saying something like Campione, and I look it up and it's an Italian last name, and Lola's from a big Italian family, so I was like, that's legit, like that's weird. Campione, that's like really specific.
Yeah.
You know, like you don't just think of that. Like I would think of like Smith, you know,
yeah,
like not like Campione.
Off the top of your head. Yeah, you wouldn't think of that.
And I asked her, I was like, so where is she buried? Like where is she from? I want to learn more about Lola. Because I don't know anything about her. And it's crazy what she said. She's saying Maryland and something about trains. And like, we were like, something about trains in Maryland, okay. And she found this city, and she was like, right when I like, right when she explained that to me, I was instantly drawn to Union Bridge, Maryland. And straight away, it feels like Lola's connecting with it. And she's like, as for the grave, she doesn't really want to talk about it, but Paris's intuition is screaming that she was buried in her family's home or property, which is what they would do back then.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to tell you, like with Amanda. God, I keep like going all over the place. I'm sorry, you guys.
There's a lot to Lola.
We also figured out Lola, like Amanda felt a tightening in her chest. They think that she got pneumonia from the Spanish flu, so not necessarily the Spanish flu. And then her dad died like shortly after her from the Spanish flu. So like during the Spanish flu, that's why I got into that. During the Spanish flu era, like they were buried in their yards and stuff because like the cemeteries were overcrowded and everything. And it was expensive back then to get a tombstone and stuff. Like a lot of people couldn't do that. So she's probably buried in Maryland, maybe. Like I want to go there and like find that out. So I sent her this photo. I sent her this photo that my cat. Hello, cat.
He wants to hang out.
My cats love Lola.
They do.
They love her. So I sent Paris this picture, and it was the train station in Union Bridge. And Paris was like, that picture is super nostalgic. Like, but the road and the roof don't look familiar to her. Because she's from freaking 1901 to 1919 or whatever. We just figured out like all these pictures and everything, like from Union Bridge, like Lola was literally getting so excited so we figured out where she fucking lives, which is crazy in itself. And then I figured out like she died, I think I figured this out on the Necrophonic app. Like I asked her about Thanksgiving, and I found out that she died like 5 days before Thanksgiving, so she doesn't like Thanksgiving. Yeah. But I found that out. Like I found out the month she died, where she's from, like all this shit. I don't know if you guys believe in spirit shit, but like
it's crazy. It's weird. Like
it's weird. She's like here. Like I know she's here all the time. So yeah, my experiences with Lola have been insane. I've had plenty more crazy experiences. I've been on the Travel Channel because of one of them. If you guys want to know about all that, make sure you guys stay tuned for the next podcast. So
Another
that you guys
cliffhanger.
Can learn about all that, all my crazy experiences, how I got into this shit, Maddie's crazy experiences. Like, yeah, you don't even know. I haven't even got, like, I didn't even get to, like, everything about Lola.
Yeah.
But you guys will learn through these podcasts more and more about her.
She'll be in them.
If you guys want to see her, we are on TikTok and on, of course, the YouTube channel, KelsiDavies, and Maddie is MadyKelly. If you guys want to check us out, thank you guys so much for listening, for watching, for listening and watching and all that. Make sure you guys stay woke, and we will see you guys in the next podcast. Peace out.
Peace.